Yo, welcome back to GameSide Chat, everybody. I'm one of your hosts, Austin Huff. Along with me today, I have a special crew, my one and only crew, the boys. Today, we have the OG, Michael Huff.
Hey, buddy, how's it going?
I'm good, bro. Doing good. We have the unpaid
Doki
intern,
doki.
Doki Doki. The unpaid intern, Alex Broughton.
Yo, hey, I'm here.
And my brother from another mother, Chris Hermosillo.
How's it going, everybody?
Yo, we got the boys on for the first show together, episode 3 of the reboot. Welcome, guys. It's
Do we not act like the world didn't just flip upside down? Since we're on camera now.
Literally.
depending on what, the Spider-Man trailer or just
Yeah.
all of us coming
Spider-Man
together.
trailer just released just now.
Last night, Michael texted me at, what was it, 7, and he was like, "Dude, you have to watch the Spider-Man trailer." And it's on some guy's phone. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not
it
gonna
was.
watch this, dude. This looks so crappy.
And the CGI wasn't even done. It was just the actors.
No, it was bad.
It was worth it
Wait,
though.
what trailer are we talking about?
You haven't
Dude.
watched it, huh?
The Spider-Man trailer just came out like an hour ago.
The fake one?
No, it's
Oh,
real.
the real
Like
Yeah.
Sony released it.
Marvel. Everybody just released it.
Wait,
Like
the
an
one
hour
where
ago.
the one where Doc Ock shows up at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That
like
was real?
they released
Yeah.
the actual
Oh, I thought that
footage,
was
though.
fake, dude.
Like the HD version of it.
Oh, I thought someone like CG'd faked that, like those.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think that was real. Because
Yeah,
I didn't see it like I didn't see it. It didn't like say Sony on it, you know? Like
Yeah,
it was just like a trailer. It said teaser. I'm like, this thing's like 3.5 minutes long. This isn't no teaser.
Yeah. Dude, they
Well.
talked Spider-Man's going into the multiverse. It's happening.
It's happening. We put it into existence. What can I say?
But if I was, me and my wife had a deep conversation about this, and I was like, all right, I don't know, because could they actually make a Spider-Man multiverse movie and not have the other actors come back? Because that would be a travesty.
I think part of me thinks they're gonna put Toby, but not Andrew, and I'd hate that.
If they don't do it, they're gonna shoot themselves in the foot. And I think it's gonna be a great movie, but then everybody's gonna hate on it so much because they weren't in it.
I'm
Even
telling
if it
you
was a great
right
movie.
now, that's exactly my mindset.
Yeah.
If you don't have Toby and Andrew in the movie, it's trash.
It doesn't matter how good it'll be. Then it doesn't.
Yeah.
It could be the
You-
best Spider-Man movie
look,
ever,
And it
but
looks
it will
good,
be
dude.
overshadowed by the fact that they're not there.
I saw a meme
It's
the other
gonna be
day.
such a missed bag.
I
Like,
saw
you
a
know what I
meme
mean?
that said, like you can't the expectations for this movie are like outrageous. They're like just don't go into it expecting everything's gonna
Yeah.
happen. That's the only thing.
Pretty good trailer art, though.
Pretty good trailer. So on
But I
that
get-
note, on the hype train that is Spider-Man, one of the biggest hype trains of our friendship is Star Wars. As I
Yep.
think we can all agree that we love Star Wars. It's our life, and it's what brings us together. I met
It's
Alex by
cool.
playing Battlefront Online, so
No.
it's a pinnacle of our friendship. So today's episode is about ranking the Star Wars and all the Star Wars content that's come out movie or TV wise. So I've created a bracket. I'm gonna go ahead and show the users real quick what's going on.
Hello, users.
Users. Oh wait,
Users.
whoops. I need to
Fun
put
fact: I even met Mike at the fantasy football draft at your house.
Oh,
At
and
the-
you were
at
there
the
for the
theater,
Star Wars video.
In the Star Wars video.
Can
dude.
you
Yeah.
tell these people
Everything's
how hard we went?
Oh my god!
There's-
That
there's
There's
thing
the bracket
was
for everybody.
nuts.
Dude,
Yeah.
okay, so another thing too, for fantasy football, we decided to make our fantasy football trophy a lightsaber. It's the golden lightsaber, and we had a whole
It was
feeder
amazing.
full of our 10
Yep.
friends that were gonna play fantasy football, and we had a grand reveal under like
I
a
almost
blanket.
cried. I almost cried in that video. Like literally, I almost cried at that reveal.
It
Like I
was
was
like-
like, "This is
It
amazing."
was a video of the journey
Poetry.
of the Skywalker.
just how well it was
lightsaber.
made. It was just like, wait a minute, am I like in a Comic-Con theater? What's going
Yeah.
on right now?
And then we pulled as soon as like it came up and it showed Ray at the time like passing the lightsaber to Luke. For at the time we didn't know what was gonna happen, and then we
Yeah.
pulled a sheet off the lightsaber. I was
And
like,
everyone was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god!"
Everyone, it was like screaming. And see, it's all connected. We're all here together for
We're
Star
all
Wars.
connected. This is the created by the Force, guys. We're all connected.
I know. It's all awesome. By the way, just a little heads up. Tell everyone who won the trophy first.
That's irrelevant.
hey,
And then
Hey.
and then
Hey,
they won
it's
it
a
again the next
It's a
year.
topic for another
hey,
time.
well, I won.
Hey.
I got it too.
Michael got
Oh,
it
a
one time.
second.
No, I
got
won
a
it
second.
first.
No, I did. I won
You
first,
definitely did.
second, you won, and then I won it again.
Yeah.
'Cause, 3-time champs.
All right. So guys, let's get into this.
Do you have it? You should show it. You should show it.
He
Do you
doesn't
have it?
have it. Aldo.
No,
has
I don't
it.
have it anymore.
Ah,
I mean, honestly, it should just be mine. I should have been able to keep that thing.
some sucker has it.
3 hours or 3
So
years.
That guy
now.
watches our podcast.
Yeah, Aldo watches it.
Oh, hey Aldo, what's up? I've never met you, so
So guys,
sucker.
I created a bracket with all of the Star Wars content that's out there.
Man, look at that bracket.
Wow,
That's a bracket.
that's a nice bracket.
I
So
don't
it's on
see
the
a
screen right
bracket.
now. I
Nice
rated it. I originally started off by ranking it with the tomato meter from Rotten Tomatoes, and you'd be surprised which one's number one according to Rotten Tomatoes.
I mean,
Yeah,
Rotten
so
Tomatoes is kind of
The Force Awakens.
garbage. It's
No,
garbage.
it's not even a movie.
It's not a movie. I was saying all movies.
It's not even
Probably
a show.
Mandalorian.
It's not even a show you guys
Mandalorian?
have seen. I guarantee it.
The Rebels show.
I didn't. It's a Resistance show that
It's
won
the
the.
The
highest?
Resistance show.
That show
It's
sucks.
98% on Rotten
Are you
Tomatoes.
kidding me?
Yeah.
I never even watched it, but
That
I
makes
had-
me want
it was
to.
like very.
I-
It was like
Listen,
Very little plot.
can we
I
just
had
start
to-
this off?
Yeah,
Disclaimer,
let's be
Rotten
real talk.
Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes is terrible.
It
They do like 10 reviews with like super snooty critics who hate on everything. Unless the movie's like an Oscar level movie, which is basically, let's be real, the Oscars are depressing and sad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all they are.
Yeah.
And that's what these critics like. They don't like a Star Wars movie. The real thing is you should have looked at the fan vote. Like the fan, that part of it.
I'm gonna say
That's the
something,
rankings
Chris.
to go off.
From going on with this show, I'm gonna say you're the Stephen A. Smith of our podcast.
Stephen A. Wow,
He hasn't
okay.
even showed that side of him yet.
He did a little last
So
week.
Listen,
let's roll with this tournament, bro. We gotta.
Yeah, let's
talk
go.
about
We got a
some
long tournament to go. We can't get off track.
All right.
If something's obvious, we gotta move on, guys. We're not gonna stick on
Yep.
topics for too long. So start off with the first brackets we have. We have
Go.
Solo versus the Phantom Menace. Boys, what do you think of Solo versus the Phantom Menace?
You did that on purpose.
No. I have a lot of good matchups.
That's a
this
good
first
one,
round.
though.
That's
Oh,
a good
boy.
one.
I was
So-
so close to wearing my Han Solo outfit.
Han Solo's
Hmm.
origin story versus Darth Maul, the most
Darth Vader's origin
Duel of the
story.
Fates. Oh, by the way, all of these, I wish I could play
True.
Duel of the Fates during all of them. Da-ba-bum. Wait, that's not the right song. But
Get on track,
So-
boys. Get on track.
So, boys, what do we say here? Which is better?
Who wants to
Solo-
go first? Chris,
I'll-
I think
I'll
Chris
take
should take
We
I'll
it.
can't,
take it, I'll
like I
take
said, we
it.
can't harp on him too long. We got a
It's-
long bracket.
it's,
You
uh,
have 30 seconds to pitch
ob-
me your
obviously,
pick.
obviously, it's Phantom Menace. That's
Phantom
it's the winner.
Menace. We
Yeah,
got
it's the
one
winner.
vote.
I need 3 reasons.
3 reasons. All right, Darth Maul. The last hour of that movie's
Darth
nuts.
Maul's in the
Dude.
in the end of Han Solo too.
Oh.
Yeah, but he actually,
Yeah.
he does something in Phantom Menace. Let's be real. So
Mm.
yeah. And then Han Solo.
Except
Besides,
talking.
like, yeah, but he talked with his saber. When he killed Qui-Gon Jinn like a savage. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Which that was like a plus. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to see the guy from Taken for 3 hours. But yeah, that's my point. Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
One vote for Phantom Menace. Michael, go.
Mike, go.
Can I vote Solo? Okay.
Can I vote Solo? No, I can't.
I want to
Can't.
vote Solo because they tried. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, so they
I mean,
didn't try during the
A
Phantom
for
Menace.
effort. No,
That what George Lucas
can't
put his
e-
heart and soul into that when he figured out CGI, and he was like, "I'm throwing
right.
that
I
in there."
can't even. I don't. So I'll say Phantom Menace to me is one of my least favorite ones, but I think Solo is underrated. I'll say before we kick Solo out first, I think it's a good Star Wars movie. It's not amazing, but I'm glad it exists, and I think it's cool.
So what's your vote?
I wish they'd make a sequel. Phantom Menace because Liam Neeson as a Jedi is awesome, and pod
Oh, we
racing is
switched it up.
awesome.
I thought I was gonna go solo.
I thought so too. It's kind of
I
a
can't.
wild card.
I can't. And then like
That's a tough
Obi-Wan, like the whole just because of the end fight scene, you're right. You can't vote that over Solo. And like I said, I don't think Solo is terrible. I think that it's probably even more enjoyable to watch than Phantom Menace, honestly.
Solo is it's hard because you can't recast Harrison Ford. There's no doing it.
But what about Lando, dude? He was great.
Lando, Donald Glover kills it. So yeah, you can recast Lando.
Yeah, I thought I think it's weird that we're not going to get a sequel. I think they should make it just out of principle. It's like we don't even know what happens after. They should just do it.
Alright.
But
Yeah. On to Alex. What do you think, sir?
Yeah, that's a good challenge because really both of them, I think, had its ups and downs. But I'm gonna
You
go
gonna
with
pick Solo?
Phantom Menace too, only
Phantom
because I think Solo is really much a throwaway movie.
Mhm.
And as much as it is replay value, I could watch Solo again. I've watched it a couple times. I think it's a good movie to watch. But if I'm gonna put it on the bracket, it's not gonna last. And then I would rather have Phantom Menace go up there because there's so much on there. Obi-Wan, like you said, Qui-Gon. You got Darth Maul. I mean, all these characters have gone through so much, and we've seen how they're trying to grow them. They're trying to even bring some of them back, and so make
Yeah.
their own shows. So I think Solo was more of just a throwaway kind of. It was during that time when Rogue One and then Solo, they were like hyped with wanting to make all these
Yeah.
movies.
They
That
released
kinda-
it too close to.
too quickly and too close.
Yeah.
So
They should have
They won
waited.
the
Yeah.
cash
Han
grab.
Solo, it was a money grab.
6
Yeah.
months
It
later,
was.
though. But if
No.
you release that 6 months later, when we're like actually like hungry for Star Wars instead of
I
mad
think it
at
would
it,
have been a little bit different perspective. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I'm gonna go with Phantom Menace just because
can I
of.
say one more thing? Austin, I'm gonna ask you.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw that question to you, but I want to say something weird that happened to me the other day. Is that I was watching Empire Strikes Back, and the part where they're going through the asteroid field and like it's like crazy and everybody's freaking out. They're like, Han, like we don't know if you're a good pilot, and I'm like, yeah, but dude, we just saw him do the crazy stuff in the Solo movie. We know he's a good pilot. And it was weird that I made that connection in my head, kind of, and it actually that's why I think it was cool.
I kind of like the stuff that you don't need to like point it out obviously, rather than just like kind of knowing just from the character who they are. And Solo is very much like, hey, he made that, like poking you with the stick. He made that parsec run, like he made the Kessel run in 14 parsecs or
Yeah.
something like that.
Like a
that's
million
cool.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like okay, we get it. So on that note, this is now this is pod racing, boys. We're moving on. So on to the next one. This one's kind of a banger. We got Empire Strikes Back versus The Force Awakens. Alex.
Oh, you did not.
That's so
did.
easy, but
Did
so
you just say this is a banger?
it's a banger.
This is a banger.
I know Alex.
You mean,
Michael
you mean
loves Force
look at him.
Awakens, so
I can't believe you picked these two movies against each other. These are the two best ones.
So, Michael, you gotta take off the helmet. We're not gonna be able to hear you.
You go first. Somebody else go first.
Alex, go for it. What's better,
All
Force
right.
Awakens or Empire Strikes Back?
This should be the final one.
It really should.
Right.
No.
These are the
Wow,
well.
you
Okay,
guys
here's
are
the thing.
crazy.
Empire Strikes
You
Back to me is gonna win, and the only reason why Force Awakens,
Yeah.
it's just you can't compare because Force Awakens is A New Hope, revamped in our modern day era of Star Wars. So if we're gonna really if we're really gonna debate anything, really it's just a copycat. Granted, we're all like, oh my god, but it's Force. All these new characters are coming back. Yeah, they came back, but I'm always thinking about Last Jedi. I'm thinking about the
But
other
how good
third
was
movie.
how good was Han Solo in The Force Awakens? How good was Han Solo?
Dude,
he was
he's good.
great.
'Cause
He was great. All
Great.
that's great.
They
The
flipped him
problem
around
is,
where
is
he's
that
like, I don't believe in the Force, but now he
it's
does.
another
So
throwaway
good.
movie. It's a throwaway. It's a throwaway.
No,
trilogy.
Han Solo made that movie. You can't
Oh my
throw
God.
away. He
Look,
did
I
so
don't know.
good. Chewie
I
were
don't know.
Han.
I don't
If
know.
you're
I got.
saying
I'm
that
I'm going
case-
Empire.
If you're
I'm
saying
going
that case,
Empire.
Michael, like Han Solo may have like helped that movie out, but how many characters had their own show, like stole the show in Empire Strikes Back?
No,
I'm gonna do Empire Strikes Back because it's the foundation of every Star Wars fan. I think. Let's go.
He looks
Let's
so
go.
disappointed.
no. I'm not disappointed. I'm
Go,
not.
Mike.
The problem
Next.
is
Go, Mike.
we need to have some love for The Force Awakens because I was
Oh, I-
expecting that I was going to be able to top of these other movies over it.
Mm-hmm.
Empire Strikes Back is, in my opinion, is to me in my heart my favorite movie like ever. Like
Mhm.
I watch it all the time. I watch it with my kids. They even think it's cool. I've watched that movie since I was 2 years old. So I can't pick that over. But The Force Awakens, dude. Chris, you were there with us. Wasn't that such a great night? Like
Listen, I'll save my comments for after you, man.
No, you go. I mean, I'm throwing it
Oh,
to you.
okay. Listen, yeah,
So
it's
who
Force
did you pick?
Awakens.
Wasn't it a
Force
good
What?
Whoa!
It's Force
Whoa!
Awakens.
Wasn't it such a good day?
I'm gonna tell you the lead up. We spent. You remember, Michael? We spent 2.5 years, you, me, and Austin, texting each other
Dude.
everything Force Awakens leading up to that.
Yes.
We theorized
We
it
saw
all
it
day.
opening night, dude, and we were blown away. And it wasn't till
Blown away.
after. It wasn't till after the thing came out on Blu-ray that we started nitpicking it as a
Yeah.
fan base. That
Yeah.
was hyped from the beginning. And let's
Yeah.
be real here, dude. Empire Strikes Back is a snooze fest until the last
No.
20 minutes.
Don't go that far.
Okay.
I am.
You know what?
I'm,
He's right.
He's,
God,
I'm going.
he's
That
doing
whole,
it.
No. That whole
He's a
movie,
little bit right.
the whole entire movie, Empire Strikes Back, is slow. It's a slow burn
Well, no.
the entire time.
For me, it's I could
and
watch
the
it
very end,
so many times. I don't really get tired
the
of it.
very end of that movie, if Luke doesn't get told by Vader, "I'm your father," we're not talking about that movie at all.
And we're not
At
talking
all.
about Force Awakens either.
No. But we're not talking about it the way people talk about it. You know what I mean? People talk about it as if it's like the greatest Star Wars movie of all time. It's one of the greatest movies ever. It's a good movie, but it's not like, oh my God, this is the best Star Wars
But we have
film
to talk about
off
why,
of 10 minutes of
if
dialogue.
we're gonna have this debate, we have to talk about why Empire Strikes Back is considered one of the greatest Star Wars movies of all time. Okay, so to me, the Empire Strikes Back is what built the Jedi and the Force. Like they are, all that is taught to us pretty much in Empire Strikes Back. Like we learn the details,
They had a
and
lot
it
of
even
lore.
connects. It connects to the prequels like so well. It totally flows
That's
with
what I'm
the
saying.
whole story
It's
of
the
Anakin.
foundation of everything. Like literally, like it pretty much and it's the second one that came out, so it
That's
literally
why.
talks about everything.
Like,
So
even
that's
the
why, in my
dialogue.
opinion, as much as Force Awakens, I love the Force Awakens. Don't get me wrong. It was coming back from everything. It's been years, and that was, I think, the first movie that ever came out after, besides the Clone Wars, which we'll get to, I'm sure. But yeah, like an actual live action movie to come back in Force Awakens, but it just turns out to be, yeah, we're gonna nitpick, but I'm still gonna enjoy it. I still love it, but I think it's the foundation for everything.
Do you remember? Do you remember when Han Solo dies in that movie? Do you remember the theater reaction? Because if I'm not mistaken, I heard somebody yell out the F word at the top of their lungs when Han Solo died. So I don't remember any of that type of reaction, from watching Empire. I remember being like, "Oh my God, Vader's Luke's father. That's crazy."
Oh, you didn't hear
But
it? They did it
the
when
lead up-
Luke kissed Leia. That's when it happened.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's just
now we're
weird.
talking about that.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
brush
Just
it under
weird.
the rug.
No, let's be real though.
Looking
The
for
Empire
love in all
Strikes
the wrong
Back
places.
is a very good movie. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying the reason we talk about that movie so much is because of the last 10 minutes when I can talk about everything that happens in Force Awakens with a smile on my face and like I'm not bored. I could rewatch it.
Yeah, like
I can't rewatch a 3-hour movie just for the last 10 minutes.
dude, let's
So I'm
talk
going
about
Force
these
Awakens.
moments though. We have to talk about these moments because when I watched the end of Force Awakens and Rey reaches out for Luke Skywalker and it starts like rattling in the snow like Empire Strikes Back and she pulls it, my jaw drops to the floor and I get chills because it's so good and the music swells. The sequels peaked at the Force Awakens. You know what I mean?
They did.
Say
They
that,
absolutely
did.
They have
It
some
was so
really they have some really good acting in the Force Awakens when like Han and Ben Solo are on the bridge and he's like, you really felt that like Kylo Ren is gonna flip back. He's like, I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. He's like, will you help me? He's like, and Han Solo's like, anything, I'll help you with anything. That's his son. And like, there's so much chills they had in that movie. Like when he just screams out Ben, like.
Yeah.
That's some good acting in that movie, and I love Kylo Ren as a character.
So what do you pick, Austin?
So Harrison Ford is pretty much is a really big star and also The Empire Strikes Back. So he's like the star in both of these movies. This is like his time to shine because the whole "I Love You, I Know" was his. That was his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what do you pick, Austin? What do you pick?
Oh, I'm taking Empire Strikes Back.
So wait,
Michael,
what did Mike choose?
Do you pick Force or you?
I
stick
picked
with
The Force
Empire?
Awakens. It's a tie.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Oh my God! All right,
Wow.
what do you
Okay.
do? What do you do, Austin? What do you have?
So we have a
for
couple
our
options.
fans? Here we go.
Do we flip a coin or do we
Oh, that's not fair.
pull Celicia and be like, hey, which one?
You should.
Give me
Should I
one
text her
thing
and
to
ask
say.
Ask Bella.
Yeah.
I'll ask you one thing, guys, to
Yeah.
see if I can change your
Never
mind.
seen it.
When you
Oh,
watched
you've seen
Force
it. What are you talking
Awakens,
about?
did you not feel more in your heart to that movie than you did Empire? When Han Solo dies, did you not feel worse than you had felt in however long when you watched that movie? Because when I watch
I
Empire,
agree with you, but that's not the
I
reason
don't
why I picked
feel
Force
anything.
Awakens. Why I didn't pick Force Awakens, I should say.
Listen, we're not saying what the greatest movie
Problem with this is I'm gonna have
story
to say
wise
this.
is.
The problem is if the Force Awakens wins,
I can't believe you guys are
I don't-
debating Force Awakens versus like a classic.
I don't think that it's gonna win. I think
I
Empire
think
Strikes
Force
Back is the
Awakens
best
is
Star
good.
Wars movie. I don't
I
know.
text Aldo to see
Michael,
you'd
if you
respond
have to,
quick.
listen, I'll die on the sword, bro. You can go to Empire. We'll move on.
No,
I'll
I
die
gotta
on
go
the
to
sword.
Empire. I
Alright,
gotta go
Okay,
to
alright.
Empire.
I'll
I
die
can't
on
do
the
it.
sword.
I'm gonna tell
I'll die on the sword.
Aldo to be
Hey,
our.
Chris.
to
Hey,
be-
I respect that. I respect
Thank
that.
you.
man.
I'll die on
I
the sword,
I was
dude.
literally surprised. So okay.
Listen,
All
that
right.
movie
Hey,
it pulls
hey.
at my heart, man.
Hey,
I
you
love
got
it.
my you got. You left my arm over there with you.
Yeah.
I'm there with you. You had me on your team.
Listen, if we had more time and I could sit and tell you
Alright.
why that movie is winner, I think I could have swayed all
That
three
would
of
be
you.
the hardest
So
one.
here's what I'm
Yeah.
gonna do. I text Aldo. He's gonna be our tiebreaker, and he
Okay.
already decided. What do you guys think he picked?
Empire.
I think you picked
Empire?
Empire.
He picked Empire.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Because we were
But,
gonna.
just a quick little thing before we move on. For best Star Wars movie ever is all of your guys' Empire.
Mike.
Kind of. There is a stipulation to that. There's a
Wait,
stipulation
say that one more
to that
time?
we have to keep playing.
So okay. Let's move on. Let's move
Yeah,
on.
move on, move on,
I'll
move on.
come
Okay.
back to it. I'll come back to it.
Next.
He's okay with that. All right, so the next one. This one might be easy. Rebels versus Resistance.
Rebels.
Rebels.
I had to say Rebels, and and I haven't even seen practically either of them. I only seen snippets of both of them, so I'm gonna have to say Rebels just because
Have you
Rebels-
seen the
I know Rebels
Ahsoka
is
and-
more impact than Resistance.
Have you seen the Ahsoka and Vader stuff?
That's very good.
Yeah. So yeah,
Super
I
good.
love it. Love
It's
it. Yep.
amazing.
We used to watch that together, Michael, at your house.
Yeah.
Love
Yep.
Alright, next.
Yeah, there's a
Which
lot.
I'm
some of the
surprised
cartoons
Rotten
are very
Tomatoes
good.
rated Resistance so high. So that's
Maybe the
baloney.
kids
Okay.
loved it. Who
It's a
knows?
kids show. It's
Yeah.
a kids show. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hopefully this bracket doesn't lag out my my computer. All right, guys. Next up. Oh, this is good. Dang it. Oh, I don't want to do this one. All right. Mandalorian versus A New Hope.
Ah.
That's a good
Can I
one.
take the lead on this one? Can I take the lead?
Yeah.
Both seasons.
Go for
Okay.
it.
Mandalorian is
Yeah, both
undeniably one of the best Star Wars anything we've had in forever. But the reality of the situation is A New Hope is a beginning, a middle, and an end, right? We didn't know that they were going to do a sequel at all. We didn't know Empire Return was coming. We didn't know 30 years later Phantom Menace, right? Because that movie is literally a beginning, middle, and end. It's a one-off movie that just so happened to make enough money that they kept going with it. Without that movie, you get nothing. So it's automatically that's it.
It made the
it goes through.
universe. It made the universe.
Listen, Mandalorian, it's great. Arguably, you could say it's the best thing Star Wars. Even acting-wise, story-wise, it might be better than everything. But the
Not
fact is,
acting-wise.
I don't know, maybe.
Not
But
acting-wise.
but the fact is, A New Hope is it's the OG. It's the first of everything. You know that it's the first. It's going through. It has to.
So you have your vote, Austin.
Yeah, it's A New Hope.
I'm gonna let Alex go first.
Oh, you go. You go.
I want you to persuade me.
Persuade you. Persuade our
Uh,
host. Okay, I'll persuade you.
Oh wait, which way are you going at least?
That's not fair. All right,
He's gonna go Mando, right?
I'm gonna go
Who?
Mandalorian.
Yeah, I get it.
You know, here's the problem that we're
Sell
gonna
me.
face on this bracket, because we're all fighting with the classics
Yeah.
to what's coming out something new,
hmm
and so I try to do the same thing with Force Awakens Empire, where I'm trying to forget what's a classic, what's the new take, because everything's different.
Yeah.
I agree with Chris's point, but in the Mandalorian, I think it is the kind of Star Wars that we wanted from the prequels, where you have practicality and you have CGI and you have all these classic characters. You have the feeling of what Star Wars is. You get that happy moment in the end where you're just feeling great. And like when you're seeing in season 2 especially, where you still get appreciation from Luke Skywalker, you still get appreciation from the classic characters. But in Mandalorian 1, it was a beginning, middle, and end kind of show. to get to another one. So I think to me, it's classic. It's a new take in a new era because it's wholly in a spectrum where, yeah, we know where it came from, but it's a whole new story. So just like A New Hope, it's a whole new story to where we can enjoy this whole new character. We don't know about him, and so now he's interacting with everything that we've grown up with. So to me, I love that because now it's like you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, and then A New Hope, yeah, it established everything. But
Here's the thing.
Mandalorian is like the thing, so I'm gonna say Mandalorian. It's the thing.
As somebody,
Mandalorian, let's go. Let's just do it.
You want to go, Austin?
You're throwing up. You're throwing up like you're doing a gang sign. You're showing off your Boba Fett shirt. That ain't Mando.
So,
it's not Mando.
I know. He was in there though.
I'm a huge Luke Skywalker is my favorite character of all time. That's my guy.
Yeah, the whiner.
Like he's a farm boy, okay? So it's really difficult.
Power converters.
I'm just gonna go to Toshi Station pick up some power converters. I mean, like, it's really.
Let's be real. Shows should not be in this bracket. It should just be the movies. If we're being honest, it kind of throws in a curveball that shouldn't even be a curveball.
I think Mando is the one that deserved it the most, and Clone Wars to be in here. I think Mandalorian does a really good job at setting other adventures up, going different directions with it, not just having just the Jedi focus on it. It does everything in the Star Wars universe, and it really opens up that hole that everyone's wanting to see in that kind of world, and I think it did a good job of showing that off to people, and in a modern way too.
Did a good way of bringing in the cartoons finally to live action. That was
everything. It brought everything together.
This is gonna be
good.
This is gonna be controversial. I really love A New Hope. I really do. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm gonna give it to Mandalorian.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a little.
Yeah.
What a little. You went one way.
I'm gonna do it.
So
I'm sorry, everyone.
Okay, now Mike.
Here's the thing.
Here's a fact. I'm just gonna say a fact.
The facts.
Hey, say it.
The facts
the
and
fact
only the facts.
is that Mandalorian season 1
was terrible.
Not that great. Not that great. Let's be honest. Right? Who
I
loved
it?
But the end of
You loved Mandalorian season 1. Like
I love
watched
Mandalorian
it multiple
season 1.
times.
The end of season 1.
Oh yeah. I've watched it. I've watched it a couple of times. But that's the thing. I don't know. That's just
And Mandalorian season
just
1's good, but season 2 is what made it.
Well, yeah.
You introduced Boba, but then you introduced Bo-Katan from Clone Wars, which was awesome, which potentially you could do a whole spin-off show of her and her little group,
Yeah.
And you bring in Ahsoka, but without season 2, if you're just taking it off of season 1, it was a good show. It deserved a second season, but it's not anywhere near.
Was truly great. It really was.
Yes. But if we're doing it as a whole, A New Hope's great all the way around, and Mando's like 50-50.
But dude, so let's talk about the last episode of Mandalorian. Let's talk about how that sounds crazy because we're talking about a TV show, but it kind of changes the world. Like, I don't know. It does, like,
brought in some new lore.
No, dude, like when Luke Skywalker showed up, we haven't seen Luke Skywalker for how many years, and when we finally did, we had that just disappointment, and then to have it be just so like out of left field, not really, but we just were just in denial, like everybody, and then for it to finally happen, like, dude,
I would argue take away season 1. If you ask me, season 2 of Mando versus New Hope, I would say season 2 of Mando beats everything Star Wars.
Right. So this is where I'm at with this. So so Mandalorian is so amazing because of when Luke came in and did what he did. Like, that was just incredible, right? The second Luke was on screen, we didn't give a crap about anybody else in that show. We didn't care about Mandalorian. We didn't even care about Baby Yoda. We could care less about those guys. Luke is on the screen.
Keep Baby Yoda out your mouth, man.
Right? Okay. Luke would not be the legendary Jedi he is without A New Hope. Because it's why we love Luke. Because when I see Luke slashing those robots, you know what I see? I see that boy right there, looking to the horizons.
Was he a robot on your guys' thing too?
Yeah, it's like a baby Yoda and a robot is what I saw.
No, the
I
poster.
saw Baby Yoda.
Oh, did his voice freak out
All
on your
right,
guys' side
so
or no?
so right now are we
No.
saying it's 50-50? So you want to ask Aldo what the tiebreaker?
You know what he's gonna pick.
You guys trust
I
Aldo's
really
opinion
truthfully
on
don't.
Star Wars?
I don't know what he's gonna pick on this one. Actually, this one's
Yeah, because he usually agrees with Alex and Austin over me. So
He doesn't know. He doesn't know who's
not
picking. I just
certain
asking him a
things. He's
question.
actually. I don't think he's gonna pick. I don't think he's gonna pick what I'm thinking. He's gonna pick on this one.
He's
I
actually
think he's picking Mando.
he
I
actually
knew he
hates
was
my
gonna
guts,
pick-
So
I
he
knew
would
he
choose
was-
against me.
I know he was gonna pick Empire over Force Awakens, but I don't know about this one.
Yeah.
I mean, that was besides me. I think every other Star Wars fan would.
We should just do
rock,
rock,
paper,
paper,
scissors.
scissors.
Nope. He already decided.
What is it?
Oh, he said a close one, but this
What'd
one
he
is
pick?
This one's Mando.
Okay.
What?
I'll fall on
Wow.
the sword,
Wow,
too.
that's the-
I'm okay with it. I love it.
I'm okay with
I do love
it,
the
but I
second
am
season so much.
upset.
Listen, man, what a buzzkill.
So
I love Mando. I'll say right now, Mando in
Yeah.
my eyes could potentially be the greatest thing Star Wars.
I cried.
But I can't go off of a 50-50 on one season, season 2 over New Hope. That's just me personally.
Yeah, but
All
seeing
right,
Boba
boys.
Fett again, though, how awesome is that? Like,
All right, what's next?
let's get into this. So next one, Attack of the Clones versus the Clone Wars.
The show
To the
versus
TV
movie.
show.
The Clone Wars
yeah.
TV show. Come on.
Interesting.
Let's get
Clone Wars
rid of
TV
it.
show.
I don't even think it's a question. I think it's Clone Wars. Anybody?
Well, they're both
Clone
both
Wars-
Clone Wars.
The Clone
no,
Wars
one's
TV
Attack of the
show.
Clones. One's
The Clone Wars TV show is what Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, should have been, in my opinion.
True.
Yeah.
I agree.
The
Ahsoka.
Clone Wars TV show, you can arguably say because of its popularity, is what kept Star Wars relevant until
Yeah,
the sequel trilogy came out.
It made
exactly.
Mando so
exactly.
great. Look at Ahsoka.
If you watch Clone Wars the show after, like, if you go through and you watch, like, say, hey, I'm gonna watch all of the movies over a weekend, right? If you start watching the Clone Wars show after you watch Attack of the Clones into Revenge of the Sith, it makes Revenge of the Sith a better movie by just
So-
watching the cartoon.
So on that note,
So I think it's
we'll-
unanimous. It's unanimous.
Clone Wars.
Yep.
All right. So with that, we move on to the last bracket. Wait, no, second to last bracket of the first round. It's Rogue One versus The Last Jedi. Is this a question?
Cool.
Rogue One versus The Last Jedi.
Yeah. Is this?
Can we start by saying
Okay.
good things about The Last Jedi first?
Saying
good
what?
things or bad things?
Let's say good things about The Last Jedi first.
Yeah, sure. You ain't getting that from me.
No, you can start with the good things.
No, because they
I'll
changed my favorite character that he hates his nephew as soon as he
I
shows some
said
sort of
the
badness.
good things.
No, you will not take this from me. I will not fall for you.
They're fixing the sequels, okay? They're fixing them. It's gonna be
No.
okay.
How are they gonna fix them? They don't
Yeah.
have a multiverse to fix them.
They're doing some stuff for
Yeah.
sure.
I'm
The
gonna
good
go
thing-
with The Last Jedi is better than Rogue One.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
And it's not that I don't
Why?
like Rogue One. It's not that I don't like Rogue One. It's just that I would say The Last Jedi is not a bad movie, except for that really, really
Don't.
dumb
Don't.
casino scene. That casino scene is absolutely terrible. It's such a bad scene. It's just like an hour of a movie for no reason, you know? You
No,
take
it's
that
bad.
out. You take that out, it's not like everything about that movie was terrible. Now,
It's
I'll
like a
agree
big
with you,
middle of
though.
the movie.
The Luke Kylo thing was very weird. I that was kind of out of left field. I would have liked to see more backstory on that. But when I watched Rogue One, like, I don't know, I don't want to like rewatch it, you know?
I mean,
Like, I think that was a money grab like Han Solo. I don't know if we really needed to see Rogue One again. Or like the story of how they got the plans, you know? Like, I don't know if we needed it.
it's really cool though.
It's cool, but did we need it?
I am
'Cause
one with the
I don't
force,
know.
the forces with me. Come on, man. That is.
To me, it's a 50-50 on which is better. I just think I had more fun watching Last Jedi than I did Rogue One.
I think like the
First
good
time.
parts of Last Jedi, Kylo Ren. I'm gonna say everything I say about the
The
sequels.
whole
can be
beginning
Kylo
is
Ren.
fantastic, actually. I like the whole opening. I think is so dope, dude.
They make
Where
Luke so
they're-
hateful though.
With like the bombs dropping and the rebels attacking and Poe Dameron, like
Yeah.
that was all dope. It was all really good
Mhm.
until the Luke thing. Honestly, if they just wouldn't have done what they did with that whole weird section of the movie, I think it'd be good.
Where he just
but-
like toss the lightsaber.
Yeah, they're trying to be funny.
Yeah.
It was-
It was more, I don't know, a slap to the face, to be honest. You're like, hey, here's this prop that we really hyped up in the last movie because it's like the lightsaber. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeet. Get yeeted.
I think they're both.
I pick Rogue One.
Down tier. They're both down tier.
Rogue One.
Star Wars movies, in my opinion.
Alex, what do you say?
Oh yeah, Rogue One.
I
Rogue
say
One's
I'm
Rogue.
not. I'm not. The thing is, I can make a whole 30-minute video about why Last Jedi sucked, and I think it all comes down to mainly because everything about that movie comes from undeveloped planning about the whole story, and
Yeah.
getting a director who doesn't know anything about the Star Wars, so continuity and the lore.
Yeah.
It's not a.
It's one of the
It's a
most-
fixed continuity. It's supposed to make sense throughout the whole thing. And when you have a guy that comes in and makes a totally different thing about hyperspace, makes a totally different thing about how the spaceships work, and the Force and all that other stuff, it just
Yeah.
to me was like it was not even a Star Wars kind of movie. It just kind of like
There's
totally
a
changed
lot of
everything.
people.
The only
I'll
thing
be
I
real,
disagree with is that I do think that he did good with the Force stuff. And the Jedi stuff.
Maybe.
I thought
Well,
that
I
was
mean,
actually cool.
Yeah,
Do
I
they
mean,
not
yeah,
use?
but
Do they not
Uh,
use some of what
the story
he
was
did in that
horrible,
movie in Mando? Do they not? They use some of the Force stuff in Mando, don't they?
That's in That's the Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker.
Is it? Okay. I don't know. I'll be honest. Both of them are. They're on the very bottom.
But the
of Star
thing
Wars,
is, it's one of
personally,
those things where if they had to make they made this movie, but now it's like you're trying to make all these to fit around it, and to fix
Yeah.
it, and to make it all make sense. Which that's not the point. I want it to
One
all make
movie,
sense to
yeah.
begin with, and then expand and do whatever you want. But
They should have made 9 into 2 parts, dude.
Yeah.
yeah, they could
All
have.
right.
They should.
Next.
So
But next, Rogue One.
yeah, Rogue One's moving on. I like Rogue One. That last scene's amazing. Now this
It's
one's a
just
good one in my
perfect.
opinion.
We didn't even talk about the Vader scene. What are we, monkeys? But we'll talk about it.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it.
Okay,
later.
okay.
So Revenge of the Sith versus Return of the Jedi. I know my pick. I'm gonna stick
That's a good
with
one, but
I'm gonna stick
Mhm.
with my answer from when I was a kid. I watched Revenge of the Sith. Hayden Christensen's a total he's amazing in that movie, and just watching the turn of him to Darth Vader. And
I wouldn't say he's amazing.
he's
but
amazing in that movie, dude. He's
I don't know if
good.
he's amazing.
It's so good. He's fighting. He's Anakin that you've always wanted it to
It
be.
is so good,
It is good.
but I wouldn't say he's amazing. I would say he's okay.
I might be really hyped up on this one, but
I want more. But I know
but-
I shouldn't.
Yeah. I'm with you, but I'm not.
I think it's better than Return of the Jedi. I like watching the whole Anakin changing. Obi-Wan feels betrayed by his brother, and
You are my brother, Anakin.
I feel like if your dad heard you say that, he might slap you.
my dad.
Yeah.
I said that to him.
Yeah.
But bring it. It's a good movie.
That's an interesting thing that you said.
What do you think, Alex?
No, I had to go Revenge of the Sith. And
Heck yeah.
even my dad, who's a fan of Star Wars, he always gets chills when he first in the theater with Revenge of the Sith came out. When you first heard the breathing of Darth Vader, my dad he had goosebumps. He was because it's been so long for him since he's seen Darth Vader on
Yeah.
the big screen.
That's
And
cool.
so for even old fans like that to get that, whoa. And the lightsaber battle, probably the best one we've seen as a live action for a long time. So and even with with Ahsoka and the Mandalorian, that was pretty slow in my opinion. But I mean, they explained the style of it. I want to see a good lightsaber battle, and I think that's the best we're gonna see so far. Live
On
action.
the lava. Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael.
There's things I don't like about Return of the Jedi, but I do think that it is a perfect ending. I mean,
Yeah.
they
It is
nailed
still-
it. They nailed it, and nobody even was really begging for a new Star Wars movie. Everybody was just
No.
it's over. For
It could have ended like that, and I would have been happy.
For
Mhm.
40 years, nobody asked for. I mean, they talked about it, but there was never some serious traction. So that's gives them some props. I really like Revenge of the Sith, but I will pick Return of the Jedi.
All
I will
right.
pick Return of the Jedi.
Respectable. I think this is a good matchup. I think this is a very good matchup. Chris, let's hear it.
I can go with my head or my heart. My head says Return of the Jedi, but my heart says Revenge of the Sith.
That's
And it's because I saw Revenge of the Sith opening night. I saw it at midnight with my whole family. I remember watching that movie, and we were freaking hyped, dude. I
Yeah,
remember
dude.
to me the Obi-Wan Anakin like lightsaber fight, sword fight, whatever you want to call it. It's probably the best sword fight in history. I don't know any other movie where there's a sword fight where I'm like, oh, that's not as good as this or that. You know, that is the pinnacle of sword fighting. The whole end of that movie is magnificent. I'm going Revenge of the Sith. I'm going
We're
with
going.
it.
We're
Best
moving
movie.
on.
It's
All
what
right,
made the sequel.
boys. So Revenge of the Sith moves on. So now we are officially in the second round. We're looking at 40 minutes now. So let's get into it. We have, to start us off, you may have thought this one was missing, but it's not. The Rise of Skywalker versus The Phantom Menace.
That's a good one.
Michael, start us
Really
off then.
good one. The Rise of Skywalker.
You say The
It's
Rise of
beautiful.
Skywalker.
It's
All
a
right.
beautiful movie. Oh my god.
Let's
that
give the
movie-
viewers the
What?
bracket real quick.
Hold
What?
on, real quick. Let's take
What?
a
Hold
moment.
on.
Let's take a minute to hear why. I want to know why.
No, the way the movie looks and the visuals is beautiful. It's a beautiful movie. You play it in 4K on that TV. There's some really cool fight scenes when they're on the. Here's the problem. Here's what happened with the Rise of Skywalker. It's very
The
simple.
whole movie. The whole movie's a problem.
No, the problem. Well, kind of. No,
No,
The
not
problem
kind of.
was-
It is.
the
Hold on,
problem
Chris.
is
Let
that
him
the whole
know.
movie is in the trailer. So when we watched the trailer, we were like, "Oh, those are some really cool ideas." And then you watch the movie and you're like, "Oh, those were the only ideas they had, what they showed in the trailer." But I feel like if we would have went into it not knowing, like they did some really cool stuff. I think that it's way more entertaining than Phantom Menace.
It
I feel
was
like
very.
Phantom Menace is a slog, and I think that's boring compared to the Rise of Skywalker. Is at least entertaining, and seeing Kylo. More Kylo is great. Han Solo and Kylo, that scene was fantastic. Having all the Jedi help Rey beat Palpatine was really cool. Was it executed the best? No, but I think it was better than the Phantom Menace, like for sure.
Yeah. I mean, they do have some good parts of like expanding the universe, doing some more cloning again, and getting into deeper lore of Star Wars.
See, I'm
for sure.
alone in this.
I'd say you are alone in this.
The Phantom Menace is my least favorite Star Wars movie, and I don't know how you guys don't agree.
I
with
think
that.
it's moving on. Who's with me? This is
Really?
pod racing,
Listen.
boys.
This is Potter. It's 100%. Listen, Michael,
Oh,
I love
yeah.
you to death, bro. I love you, man.
I-
You're one of my best
But
friends.
somehow they brought Palpatine back. Somehow.
It was below.
Yeah.
It was so
Really?
bogus.
Are we
I
gonna
just-
talk about
I don't
Jar
know.
Jar? Jar Jar is the
Oh.
star of Phantom Menace. The star. The
Listen,
star.
Misa grants.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows I hate
Oh
Jar
my
Jar
gosh.
Binks.
There is cool.
In my heart, I hate Jar Jar Binks. But the Phantom Menace is a more well
Here's the
done
problem.
movie
Here's
than
the
Rise of
problem.
Skywalker. Hey,
Here's
can
where
we
I'm
just
at.
ask the question? How is Rey a Skywalker at the end of the movie? You want
I-
to explain that to me? 'Cause I don't think anyone knows.
I am in denial about this movie still. You hear me?
Where'd
That
where'd
movie,
the
I hung
yellow
everything on
lightsaber
that
come
movie.
from?
I hung everything on that movie.
Oh, I can
Because
tell
after
you're in
the
denial.
first trailer, I was like,
Yeah, you gotta
This is
love
it.
that.
I
You gotta
do-
love
I
that
teared up.
end game ending
Listen,
moment.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just
I
can't. I'm
told-
sorry, man.
okay, so you're really debating a movie where the most hated thing about Star Wars is the main part of that movie.
He's not the main part.
Mm,
Obi-Wan and
He's the one that pushed the story along.
Qui-Gon are the main guy. No, he didn't push it along. He just lived underwater of Naboo, with the Gungans, and they helped him with their war efforts.
I just can't believe that the hopes that I had about them ending Star Wars, like they just didn't go for it. They just didn't go for it. Like it was just safe, and they should have really went for it because Marvel's going for it hard, and you're just like, dude, why can't they just do that?
I think if Dave
They're starting
Filoni was in charge of Star Wars earlier than he is now, like before, then we would have seen a totally
It would've
different
been
sequel universe.
Totally different sequel.
Yeah,
Because Mark
I-
Hamill was not even that old. He had time, dude.
he still
Yeah.
does.
I've been preaching that Filoni should have ran Star Wars since Force Awakens came out. I thought he should have been doing all of this. The reality is, J.J. Abrams kind of.
J.J.
You
Abrams
could
came
say
out.
he takes most of the blame for the fact that he did 7. He did Force Awakens. He set everything up, and then he dipped. they bring in Ryan Johnson and they basically tell him do whatever you want, just kind of continue on. And Ryan Johnson basically took that as, oh, I'm gonna make my own movie, and it's
No,
not gonna
that's
really,
not how it
it's not
happened.
gonna, it's
J.J.
it's not,
Abrams
it's
came out and was
basically how it
like,
happened because Abrams didn't
No.
want to do it again.
No, they signed 3 directors for the 3 movies right away. Like that's
But
that's
I'm
how
saying
ridiculous it is. Like they could
they
have wrote the story.
they only did that because they asked Abrams to do the whole trilogy, and he told them no, he would only do the one. That's
True.
the only reason they got other ones.
True.
And the reality is, you can do what they did and tell Colin, whatever his name is, what's the guy's name, Ryan Johnson. You could tell him, hey, continue the story, but he kind of was told, hey, do your own thing, and he kind of
But
he
even
dropped the ball
J.J.
even
Abrams,
harder.
he had an
and then
outline for them to end it.
he had an outline. Ryan Johnson didn't follow it. J.J. Abrams had to basically be like, all right, I'll suck it up and do the next one and try to fix this. And then you could argue he messed it up even worse.
he had a lot
Because
of
of
questions.
what he
He had a
did.
lot
Too
of
much
questions he
thinking.
couldn't answer.
And
Is
the,
what
the
happened.
worst part is Ryan Johnson and J.J. Abrams kept talking about how much they love Star Wars, and this is like their dream job. They've always wanted to do Star Wars, and I don't even think they knew the assignment. It's like you get some homework. Hey, do the homework. Know the assignment for your Friday test, and they basically didn't know anything. Like,
So
I would argue
are we
fans could do it better.
are
So
we
we're gonna-
moving Phantom
Can I
Menace up?
say, yeah, I guess we're gonna move on to Phantom Menace winning, obviously, because I'm alone in this. But can I just say, I think that it is fixable if they can somehow bring those characters back and make it fix what they did. It's possible. I think they bring Ray back.
In Dave
Even
Filoni's
Finn.
hands, anything's possible so
Yes,
far.
give
True
Dave
that.
Kevin
Filoni,
Feige.
Ray and Finn.
100%.
And
If
Ray
he can
teaches
write
Finn how to
it
be a
so
Jedi.
well as to why Luke got to the point to where he is now, like
Yes.
before where he met Kylo Ren, kind of like the steps of why he's turning in, then I'd be a little bit more happy. But to the point that's in Mark Hamill's standards of why he's gonna do that.
What if Baby Yoda turns bad and that's what like makes him like never?
He's the one that corrupted
He kills Mando.
Kylo Ren. He's like, do it, kill him all.
I mean,
Do it.
I would have loved to see Ray go bad, Kylo go good, and that's how the sequel trilogy ended. I think that would have been pretty dope.
Yeah.
It would have did so many more possibilities
Be
off
different.
of that. Also,
Yeah.
we could because we've never really seen a Star Wars where we get a Jedi or who goes bad, or we get a Sith from their point of view. We only get the Jedi's point of view. We never get a Sith's point of view. I would like to see like a Sith-based, like maybe show from Filoni. I think that'd be very interesting.
They're doing that though, aren't they?
Let's
I
Acolyte,
don't know.
but-
let's move on, boys.
Okay.
So we got Empire Strikes Back versus Star Wars Rebels. What do we think?
Empire.
Rebels
Empire.
like the TV show? Oh yeah, Empire.
Yeah, Rebels is a good show. It had some good references. I like Ezra and Kanan, but at the end of the day, Empire Strikes Back is better than Star Wars Rebels.
Yep.
So, let's see. Now we have Mandalorian versus the Clone Wars. What do we think? Alex, I'll start with you.
Mandalorian versus the Clone Wars.
Yes. 2 TV shows head to head. Da-da, da-da.
Mandalorian almost took out A New Hope.
That's
And,
true.
yeah,
You
Clone
fought
Wars- Clone
so
Wars
hard
didn't-
for Mando to not pick it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm gonna go with Mandalorian because I'm only thinking of the last season of the Clone Wars, which
So
as a
good.
whole it was still great, and yes,
So
it,
good.
it made Revenge of the Sith much more much greater, but as a TV show, it's I don't know.
Clone Wars had some good moments, like with
Clone
the
Wars
whole
did have some good moments,
with
but
the five
you know
scene.
what? I'm gonna
Dude,
say Mandalorian.
when I
I'm
saw
gonna say
that
Mandalorian.
scene with Fives
If I
and
had to
like
just
how
throw that thing in
he
the air.
and how he knows that like that they have a chip in their heads and everyone thinks that Fives is going crazy. That was such like an emotional scene. That was good,
Yeah.
man.
It was good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for Mandalorian because it's fresh, it's new, it's great, it's bringing everybody that we know and love together again. Like I said before, Clone Wars, it was basically answering all our questions from episode 2 through 3 and beyond a little bit, which I love it, but I want something new too. So I'm gonna go with Mandalorian.
Michael?
Mando.
Simple enough.
Yeah, we'll probably talk about Mando again, so I'm gonna leave it at that.
You want to say anything of your favorite parts of Clone Wars?
Dude, I really liked low-key where Anakin faces off against the whole army on the bridge, just like Luke does in The Last Jedi. That
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
That's
That
cool.
really gets me going, man. Like that's just the little stuff like that. That's all I need. You don't
That
have
ain't
to
little
like.
stuff.
It doesn't have to be
Taking a whole
on
army.
the nose, real subtle. I'm good. I'll sit back. That's what I'm looking for this Spider-Man movie coming out. You know what I mean?
So, Chris, anything you want? What do you want to vote?
I'm going Mando only for the fact that I think a lot of the stuff that we saw in Clone Wars is just going to get turned into live action, which
Yeah,
is
right.
what I wanted when I was watching the show to
Very
begin
well
with.
be.
I always thought, oh, they made it animated. Let's do this live action. I think that's where we're heading. So I'm going to go Mando.
I think that's a good point too. Is like Clone Wars built a lot of the universe more than people say it is. A lot of people don't watch Clone Wars because it's a cartoon, but I think people need to kind of change that opinion because cartoons are able to do way more of the universe than you think it would.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Mando's moving on. On to the next bracket. We have Rogue One versus Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith for Chris.
Revenge of
Okay.
the Sith.
Chris,
Alex, Revenge of the Sith.
You were at the movie theater when we saw Rogue One, right?
Yep. And I remember
was-
thinking,
How was the audience at the end of that movie when Vader came out?
Oh, dude.
oh, no. Yeah, I remember.
We
But let's
stood
be
up.
real.
When's the last time you stood up during a movie and cheered, Chris?
I saw it with you. I don't remember you standing
Endgame.
up.
Stood up.
I don't remember standing up.
Standing ovation. Austin, you were there. Did we
Endgame.
stand up?
Endgame.
No, I think we were screaming though.
We were screaming, but we didn't stand up.
Screaming.
I was standing in my heart.
At the end of the movie, did
In
the
my
audience
heart.
start clapping? Absolutely.
Oh
But
my
let's be
God.
real here. Let's be real here.
You were losing my mind. Giving people
I-
high fives, kissing babies, hugging strangers.
Kiss a baby.
Listen, this goes again. This is just like Empire. I'm not gonna judge an entire movie off of the last 10 to 5 minutes. You know, I can't do it. That movie's good. The ending is very good, but the reality is it's not better than Revenge of the Sith. And you can argue the last hour and a half of Revenge of the Sith is freaking a bop the entire time until the end of it. Like, it's Revenge of the Sith. I don't even think this has to be discussed, but we can finish discussing.
No, it's fine. I vote Rogue One, but you guys.
I'm sorry, Michael. It's gonna be
Michael,
Revenge of the
Michael
Sith.
be dying by the sword.
He's
blade.
dying on the sword right now.
It's okay. I'm sure.
Listen,
there's
hey,
people that
your
appreciate it.
opinion matters, Michael. There's a lot of people out there who probably agree.
Dude, that Vader scene
Dope.
so good.
It's very good. I love the
They
whole
call it a
like
climax for a reason,
heist.
boys.
Hey, is it better though than Obi-Wan yelling at Anakin, "You were my brother"? You know?
You were my
I don't
brother,
know.
Anakin.
I don't know.
I already know. I already know who's gonna go to the semifinals. It's
Alright,
pretty
what's next?
obvious.
Are you
So
sure?
I'm just gonna show the viewers who's in the semifinals right now. And who's in the semifinals? First round is gonna
Oh,
be.
wow, look at that! Look at that!
Look at that, dude. It's the Phantom Menace versus the Empire Strikes Back to kick off the first one.
Laughable. I can't even believe you guys let Phantom Menace get this far, dude.
I don't
Going
know how it
crazy,
got this
bro.
far. I thought it was gonna go down a long time
That
ago.
was the worst one.
Jar Jar manages to survive once again.
What's
Misa
the
is
last one to
taking
be?
over
It'd
the
be Anakin
tournament.
Skywalker.
Yippee!
Yippee!
Rise of Skywalker.
I think
Chapachawa.
I think a Chapachawa's made it. It's for this. It can.
Are you an angel?
Listen, let's make the argument though.
Yeah, let's make the argument.
Let's make the argument. The Phantom Menace is better than Oh
Can't even
man.
say it.
Okay, you know what? No. Let's think about this.
Now you
It's
wouldn't
Empire.
legit.
Let's move on.
You wouldn't legit be like saying Phantom. You wouldn't even compare Phantom Menace.
No.
and Empire
Yeah,
Strikes Back at all.
I'm Joe. I was laughing. I couldn't say it.
Yeah,
Dude. Let's
there-
move on.
There'd be no
Vampire.
way. Yeah. Anybody want to say anything? Their favorite memories of Phantom Menace? Michael, that's like one of
No.
our first movies we ever watched together as a kids.
Yeah, I
I
don't care.
mean, the best memory I have of that movie is
I'm
freaking
so
Maul
tired of that movie. I don't.
murking Qui-Gon. Hey, for Andrew and Bryce, if you're watching this, Qui-Gon not that great, you know, and that's why he got murked. All right, let's move on.
I would.
Alright.
I would love to see Qui-Gon TV show though. That'd be amazing.
I would have to say though, being young as I was, I know my dad was excited to have a, that was coming back, watching the Star Wars movie after so long, and
Dude, people would pay to
I think
see the trailer in the movie theater.
Listen,
yeah,
Phantom Menace ain't that
And
bad. Let's
the
be
Phantom
honest.
Menace
It's not
came
that
back to Harkins like a couple years ago.
bad. We
And they
saw it,
remember,
Michael.
yes, and remember they were gonna reboot it and show it onto the theaters, and I think
Yeah.
that was the only movie that came out for that.
Yeah.
That movie's
So-
not that bad. It's not that bad.
So
It's honestly like I think I'm gonna pick. No, I'm just kidding. No, Empire.
let's move on, boys. Oh
Empire.
wait, whoops! I did the wrong thing. Whoops. It's a Mandalorian versus Revenge of the Sith.
Oof.
Who would like to start?
I'm gonna say I'm just gonna be quick about it. Mandalorian is who I'm gonna pick because Mandalorian is what a prequel should have been in a Star Wars standard, in my opinion. And so that's what I'm gonna pick.
You listen, your opinion is you keep saying that, but let's be real. Mandalorian's just it's just a western. It's a western. That's all it is. It's a western, but
maybe I'm into
with
Westerns.
Star Wars. But you keep saying the prequels should have been that. We saw what the prequels were. And we know what they were meant for. It was to basically give you the
I'm
lore.
saying, I guess I get okay to clarify the quality,
The style.
The
style,
quality,
the style,
quality, and
the style, and they should have had a Clone Wars, an actual Clone Wars outfit. Somebody walking around in a Clone Wars suit, acting. But no, it's all CGI. I everything's CGI. That's great, but I think you want that authenticity about everything, and that's for me. It's just what I think.
So what are you
Style.
saying?
Yep,
What do you
I'm picking Mando.
Take a Mando.
Yep.
Michael, what do you have to say?
You go first, bro. I have to think about this. Honestly.
I have my childhood sitting right in front of me and
The future.
my future as a 20-year-old.
I don't know. Unless they bring Luke back, I'd like. Well,
But can you
Ahsoka back,
rely?
Mando?
Can you keep relying on someone that's not a main character to keep the show going? But I mean,
No,
at the same
honestly.
time, I do like the Mandalorian as a character in general, and I think there's a lot of important moments where he's with Baby Yoda that are really cool. Like, all the sacrifices he's made for Baby Yoda, and he's didn't show his face to anybody, but he would show it just to save the kid. Man. At the end of the day, I'm gonna say Revenge of the Sith, man.
Oof. All right.
I'm gonna say that because I really like the flying. I like the fight scenes, and the memes. Most importantly, the memes that came out of it.
You've chosen the high ground.
I've chosen the high ground. And
I have to.
And it's at Order 66. Another point that we've gotten a lot of stories from.
Chris, do you want to go first, or do you want me to do it?
You can go first.
I think that I have to pick Mandalorian because, and it seems like I've been hating on Revenge of the Sith. I really haven't been, but dude, the Mandalorian, it was great this year.
It's
it
a good
really
show.
was. It for so many reasons.
Chris, what are you gonna say?
Okay, it's a hot take. It's a hot take.
Everything you say
Okay,
is a hot take.
Mandalorian season 1 is meh. A lot of the hype was Baby Yoda, which is the supporting character. We didn't really have the
Co-star.
hype. Co-star, okay, yeah, co-star. So the co-star was more hyped than the actual star of the show. Season 2, all around a better show, but once again, Boba
But it's about the
Fett.
show. It's not about the. We're not ranking characters.
I know.
We're ranking shows.
No, but this is the point. I'm more interested to see when I saw Boba Fett come back. I'm like, oh, that'd be really dope to see a show about Boba Fett. Now we're getting it. I saw Bo-Katan, from Clone Wars. I was like, oh, it'd be pretty dope to see a show of her, and I think we'll get that too. And then we saw Ahsoka, and I'm like, oh, it'd be cool to see Ahsoka, but we're getting that. So it's like the fact that I'm more hyped for every side character that they showed up than the actual lead character. It's like I'm going Revenge of the Sith. I think Mandalorian's a good show, but they rely so much on these side characters to hype you up for every episode. When it's just Mando, I'm not that hyped for the episode. I'm like, oh, when do we get to see a different character? And then I'm like, oh crap, this is pretty dope. I think it's the side characters make that show more than the actual lead guy does, personally.
Does anybody want to change their vote?
I think you should, Michael. Revenge of the Sith.
Alex, you want to change your vote?
I'll die by the sword, man.
Listen, you can die by the sword, but I'm not wrong.
I sent a text out.
Built on side characters.
I can't ask Aldo. Aldo's gonna pick Mandalorian.
He's gonna pick Mando.
He hasn't
responded. Even
responded.
Celicia will pick Mando. Let's be real. But the reality is, that show is built on side characters, not on the main character.
Dude,
because the main character.
Not even talking about the last episode, but we knew Boba Fett was around, but we were waiting for him the whole season. And when Slave One showed up at that Jedi Temple thing, I'm like, dude, we're watching Star Wars, and they're at a Jedi Temple, and Boba Fett and his Slave One is chasing them. Like, dude, come on, it couldn't get better than that.
That's
Next
pretty sick.
episode, or this episode before that was Ahsoka, and she was like a samurai. You know, that is a beautiful episode. And then the one after that, Luke Skywalker's in it. Like,
Common
real,
denominator.
bro?
Common denominator. You
Oh.
haven't mentioned Mando once in any of those episodes.
Can I say this though? I hope that the Obi-Wan TV show comes out and obliterates what Mandalorian is. I hope that it's the best thing I've ever seen in my
I
life.
think, and see, that's the thing. It's becoming its own foundation for everything that we want now in Star Wars. Whereas Revenge of the Sith, yes, it literally kind of connected everything that we know in the sequels, or the originals.
I mean, we're at the end game. They're all good.
But yeah,
They're all
I think
good.
at this point, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, all these shows that are coming out is coming from that show, and so you gotta admit, give it some credit there that it's.
They're coming from the Clone Wars.
They're coming from the Revenge of the Sith, though.
I know.
First person to get a text back or some sort of response saying who wins moves on. Because I've texted.
I mean, just
two people.
use Michael. Just use your head here. Everything you mentioned about all three of those episodes, you never mentioned Mando once.
All right.
You picked Mando.
I have a tiebreaker.
Rip the Band-Aid.
It's Mando.
Yeah.
That one was courtesy to my sister.
I
was already kind of leaning towards it, but it's Mando.
I don't know how. Yeah, it's whatever. I'll die on the sword. Revenge of the Sith, bro.
Revenge of the Sith is great.
Dude, have you watched the Ahsoka episode like on a 4K TV? Like,
listen.
Look, the quality of the video is not going to matter to me.
It's not that. It's the fact that.
What do you mean?
Mando is the lead of that show, and I could care less about Mando.
I agree.
That's the problem. With the show.
I agree.
That's
I don't think that's a problem.
All right,
it's a massive problem.
Let's show the final brackets. We have the final. It is Empire Strikes Back versus Mandalorian, and the bronze match, who is going to be third place, is either the Phantom Menace or Revenge of the Sith. So let's start off with
Revenge of the Sith.
All right, yeah, let's go with the bronze match.
Didn't win.
No. Third. It's fighting for third.
Bronze.
It's fighting for third?
Yeah, that's shocking.
It's in real life. This would not be fighting for third.
Okay, what's
best
it up
one.
against? Because I'm not picking it. What's it up
Revenge
against?
of the Sith.
Okay, it wins third.
Right.
Realistically, we take
Phantom
shows out of
Menace
this
third?
bracket's different.
No, Revenge of the Sith wins third, right?
Yeah.
If we didn't have shows in here, this bracket is way different. Let's be honest.
Yeah. So so third place is Revenge of the Sith, which I would be okay with saying Revenge of the Sith is the third best Star Wars movie personally. Now for the last one. I feel like this is gonna be sweet, but who wins? Empire Strikes Back. Oh, Aldo texts back and he said Mando too, so it's fine. So the last one is Empire Strikes Back.
Hates it.
Empire Strikes Back versus Mando.
Mando.
Alex.
Mando.
Empire Strikes Back?
Are you guys like pulling my leg, or like are you just like anti-hype?
No, it's the way you did your bracket. You did the bracket. You threw in.
You're doing Mando versus Empire Strikes Back.
I'm doing Mando versus Empire Strikes Back.
Why? Why are you doing that?
It's Mando. Mando's better than Empire. Empire's the last 10 minutes is the only thing that made that movie. That movie's slow and boring for about 2.5 hours.
The reason why is because this is why
I don't hate Star Wars. It's just boring.
It's everything Star Wars. That movie is everything Star Wars.
No. A New Hope is everything Star Wars.
No,
it gave you everything. It gave you everything.
No.
It gave you a beginning, middle,
No.
Okay.
All right. So the Empire Strikes Back had Yoda. It had Force Obi-Wan, and it talked about the Force more. It had Luke's training. You know, it had Cloud City, legit, a more legit lightsaber scene with Luke versus Vader. Yeah, I know you're gonna say like whatever, you know, the whole thing is taken over by I'm your father, but that back in that day, that was the biggest twist that people got in their life. You know, no one expected that. But I think
about the twist, honestly, I just think the music in the movie is just so good.
And like, there's everything in that movie. There's comedy, there's romance, there's action, there's a good story.
Yeah, I'm gonna go off the whim here. Mandalorian is literally how, and I'm gonna here we go, everybody.
Oh man, hot scoop.
Literally, I think Dave Filoni is like the second coming of what George Lucas meant to be, because he
is.
knows how Star Wars, the world should be as a whole, and he got it obviously from inspiration from George Lucas. However, think about it. George Lucas, he had this vision, but he didn't know where it would go to. Dave Filoni is taking that, and here it is. It's amazing. And I think at this point, we are always going to put Empire at a pedestal. And
That
granted,
it doesn't deserve.
that to the point where it's like, okay, it's going to go only so far where it's like, all right, where's the next thing? Am I going to always go back and say Empire's going to be the best? Well, it is the foundation of everything, but you know what? It's time to move on. Mandalorian.
Listen,
Mandalorian.
I did a bracket, right? Like I not a bracket, but I ranked all my movies for Star Wars and I threw in the shows. It goes 4, 6, 3, Mando. That's how my rankings go. And 5 is right up underneath Mando. So if I'm sticking to what I wrote down before we did the show, I'm going Mando. Simple as that. Five is a good movie.
Mandalorian is exactly what Star Wars
5 is good.
Become.
Did you vote, Austin?
I'm saying Empire Strikes Back.
Listen, and I know what's gonna happen. You're gonna text Aldo. And you're gonna say, "Hey, what is better?" And I know his reaction. He's gonna say Empire. I get it.
But
I don't
he's gonna say Empire? You think he's gonna say Empire?
I do. And the thing is,
I don't think he's gonna say Empire.
I don't want people to think, "Oh, I hate Empire." No. I ranked my movies. 4, 6, 3 are above 5 in my rankings. You told me, "Hey, we're also adding shows." I threw in a show and I put it ahead of 5. So I'm sticking to my.
Are we picking first and second or no?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what's happening right now. I think Mando's better than Empire. I think it's better than Empire. And if you told me, "Hey, take Mando out of this bracket, we're just ranking movies,"
Okay.
I still don't have.
Let me tell you this, Michael. Let me put some weight on your shoulders, Michael. You are about to pick the tiebreaker, whoever it is, because I already have Aldo's answer.
And let's be real.
Mandalorian
answer is Empire.
Let me tell you guys something.
Hold on, no cutting off.
So if you think they're both sequels, right? In a way, Mandalorian is the culmination of all the shows before it, and it really, 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 in every single way, relied on everything that came before it. Everything good about the Mandalorian is everything that came before it that came back. And Empire Strikes Back, everything is pretty much new. You got you got Luke, and there's spaceships and Death Star and X-Wings, and these Jedis are weirdos with swords, But when we got everything. I mean, they took what, like Chris said earlier, just a normal movie, a beginning, a middle, and an end, and they expanded on it. And if it wasn't for that movie, we wouldn't be here right now. If Empire Strikes Back wasn't as good as it was, it would have not have blown Star Wars to just keep growing. If it was a bad movie, it would have been a flop.
I would argue that movie off of the ending and the twist, and no one ever seeing that is what hyped that movie so much to where it made the money do the
next. You hear what I'm saying?
I don't even think it's that. I agree with what Mike is saying, but like I said, I think it's finally come to the point now where we can say what can go above Empire? Mandalorian. I think at this point we've gotten to the point now in Star Wars history where we finally can go above all that. We've finally we've established, and let's just go and let's make better movies with what would have been established. I think that's what it comes down for me.
If you have the opportunity, hey, I can watch season 2 of Mando right now, or I can watch Empire. You're choosing to watch Mandalorian season 2.
No, I literally just told you that I watch Empire Strikes Back all the time.
And to go back to your earlier, all right, I'm gonna go back to.
I'm really sorry because I'm not being like, oh, I want to pick this to be a certain way, but if I'm giving you an answer from my heart,
you have to.
From my heart, it's Empire Strikes Back. Now I'm gonna tell you,
fair enough.
To go back,
I
to
cried during
one of the
Mandalorian.
early arguments of the show. I'm gonna talk about how one of Chris's arguments was that Mandalorian is only good in the second season.
Yeah, and I haven't mentioned season 1. I've only mentioned season 2. The reality is,
we're saying as a
my
show.
top
you love Mando, huh?
No, my top 3.
I'm saying as a show.
I think A New Hope is better than Empire. I think Return of the Jedi is better than Empire, and I think Revenge of the Sith is. But I was unanimously voted. All of those got knocked out. and I think Mando is better than Empire. So I'm gonna stick with Mando off the fact I think Empire is overrated. I think it's an overrated movie, has a lot of hype. I think everyone's favorite answer is to say Empire is the best thing Star Wars, but I think it's super boring until the very end.
Well,
And I think even season 1 of Mando, and I've already said I don't think it's a great season, I would still watch that over Empire any day of the week.
when's the last time you watched Empire?
Recently,
Like,
I own it.
I
own it.
Sat down and just watched it for.
Yeah, I own it. I own all 3. I watch them.
I can't even
watch them.
I can't even.
They're good. I'd much rather watch New Hope or Return of the Jedi over Empire, hands down.
I wish that I could choose it. I wish I could choose anything over it, but I can't.
But let's be real. Your guys' favorite, if we were to just rank the movies, all of you would say Empire is the best. I'm not saying that though. I'm saying it's not even top 3 for me out of all the Star Wars movies. So I don't.
Yeah.
I can't pick it over Mando. I can't.
I'm gonna change your mind one day.
On this note,
it won't happen.
On this note, boys, we're never gonna agree about this, but
oh boy,
we've come to the end, and Empire Strikes Back is the winner.
It's the winner. Yeah.
Are you serious? Oh my god!
Congratulations!
We Star Wars fans. We are always gonna hurt ourselves because we stick to this point where we come back to Empire. And granted, if Mandalorian wasn't on this bracket, yeah, I would have picked Empire too. But that's the thing. It's like we gotta move forward. We gotta spread our wings to these awesome. Now, don't do what Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker did. Do what Mandalorian did and move and establish these stories the right way. But okay, that makes sense.
I agree with you. It's like a basic answer, but it's
I'm not even on your guys' basic answer. I don't even think Empire is the top Star Wars movie. It's not even top 3 for me. So if anything, I'm more controversial than all 3 of you.
So what is your favorite Star Wars moment, Chris? To you,
favorite moment?
The thing that just like sells it for you when you think of Star Wars. What do you think?
The ending of Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, the Mustafar.
Yeah, Mustafar.
Yep.
And
that's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking that before he even said it. Yeah.
If you say don't even count that, right? Just any other moment. I think Mandalorian, when I see Bo-Katan show up.
Yeah.
I was more hyped for that than I was for like seeing Luke at the end of the season, because I watched the Clone Wars like live, because that show, like people don't realize that show got canceled I think like twice.
Yeah.
And they just now finished it on Disney Plus, but I was watching it back on Cartoon Network, like every Friday night, and I remember seeing Bo-Katan, like Obi-Wan stuff, and I was like, oh, this is so dope. And then to see that happen in Mandalorian, I was like, this is crazy. I never thought I would see like a live action. And it was crazy too, because they got the voice actress to play her character.
That's cool.
Which was really cool, because they didn't do that for the other characters that they like brought up. Because like I think Ahsoka, they casted in like an actual actress and didn't bring in the voice character. So I thought that was pretty sick.
So it sounds like we're all gonna be on the same page about this Obi-Wan TV show, being that it's just the expectations are so high because.
No.
We'll see.
No?
We're going to have to reconvene on this bracket later down the road.
I don't think Obi-Wan is the high expectations.
For me, it does. Totally, completely.
I'll leave it on this for me, at least for my comment. I think Star Wars Visions, the anime show that they're doing, might be the best Star Wars that we ever see. I'm just going to throw that out there.
All right, boys. Well, Star Wars is something that everyone could talk about, and that's something that's great about that all friends can come together, have a friendly debate. We all still love each other at the end of the day after this nice bracket.
May the force be with you all, guys.
May the force be with us.
Next week we're gonna rank the Fast and the Furious movies.
1 mile. Yeah, right. 1/4 mile at a time.
Yeah, 1/4 mile at a time.
Thank you guys for joining me. I'm glad we could have this debate and have a good discussion about this. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for listening. GameSide out.